How to learn like a genius. Once you find out you're a genius on the genius test, one of the first things you realize is that the way you naturally learn will determine whether or not you feel smart or stupid. A lot of us, we've actually gone through life forgetting we're a genius because we're forced to learn in ways that simply weren't natural to us. So by realizing there's 4 different natural ways to learn, this is something that's not just for you, this is for people in your team, this is for your children. This is for people in your family to actually realize there are ways for them to activate their learning in a way that's natural for them, so that you will find that when you follow your natural way to learn, you will be picking up anywhere from double to 10 times the information you normally would through the ways that you struggle to learn. First of all, let's just go through the different geniuses so we can see how this works. We're going to start, first of all, with Dynamo Genius. If you're a Dynamo Genius, you have your head in the clouds. You have a short attention span. You might have been criticized in class because you never paid attention for long enough. You might be Blaze Genius. You love people. You love conversation. You don't like the detail so much, and again, had a tough time being able to sit down and go through that detail. You'll have the Tempo, which is not head in the clouds, it's ear to the ground. You actually are the kind of person that really likes to get hands-on with things, and if you're given that opportunity, you can learn so quickly. But if someone just comes and gives you one concept, and you have to somehow then articulate it back, you find that difficult. On this side here, the steel needs the detail, and it's a very different type of genius. In fact, let's just talk about the fact that there are different ways that our brain works. And this you could almost, in a very simple way, divide up as a strange-looking, badly drawn brain, and you'll see that you have on the top part something called the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is something that is focusing on a type of thinking which is called intuitive thinking, which is what dynamos do naturally, which is just coming up with new ideas all the time and just can't help coming up with 10 new things. But that is something which gets tapped into in our frontal lobe intuitive thinking, which is the opposite of the temporal lobe, which is at the back, which is something called sensory thinking. It's tied into all our senses. And Tempo geniuses are really good at being sensory, which is, again, very different from right brain thinking, which is where it all ends up getting super connected with each other, which is extrovert actions as opposed to introvert actions, which happens when we're really going into more analytical thinking. Now, every one of us, we need to, because each of us has a tendency towards one of these 4, we need to do what's best for us when we're learning. So imagine the people you know, and it might even be you, who's super creative. You'll find the thing they're always trying to get to grasp a concept is the answer to a question where the question is the question, what? Like, okay, so what is this thing? What's the new idea? What's the big picture? So as a result of that, the way they learn is through something which is called visual learning. You might have heard of visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Well, I'm going to show you 4 types, not 3 types, but 4 types of learning which are natural to these 4 types of genius. Visual learning is not just about seeing something. It's about seeing the big picture, seeing all of it. So if you're this type of person, if someone can show it to you on one graphic, not just like lines, like 20 different things, but a graphic, it's like, I get that picture now. Intuitively, you can grasp that and explain it to somebody else in a way that others can't. And so don't be shy when someone comes to you with like 20 pages of documents to read through and say you need to learn all of it, to say, can you just give me the bigger concept? Because that's how you learn best. On this side here, this is all about the question who, because it's all about people, it's all about the story. So you'll have some people who say, oh, okay, so you need to put videos together for your website, because there'll be some people that won't be enough to just see the picture of what you're providing. They want to see the story behind it as well. The people here, the Blaze geniuses, they love talking. And they will do their learning through talking. And they'll do the learning through stories that they hear as well, because they are more not visual, but auditory. So auditory is a different type of learning. And then from the auditory learning, which the people on this side, the geniuses, are great at, and they'll, once they get into that conversation, and by the way, if you're on this side thinking, I don't need people getting into conversation about things, realize that's how they learn, and that's how you get the best out of them. So let them do that in order for them to articulate what the key thing is you're trying to teach them is. That then leads to this here, the Tempo sensory side, which is all about hands-on. This is the kinesthetic side. The kinesthetic side is about knowing that everything has a place that you can touch and feel. In fact, a place in time, a place in space, which is why the question they're always asking is when and where. But it's already presupposing the fact that there is already something there, and there's already people involved. So understanding there's a cycle here is also really important. But they'll absolutely not be enough to just simply see something on a site and say, then that's something I must need. That's something where they want the testimonials. They want the people who are actually able to provide the referrals. On this side here is, and you can see, by the way, I'm talking about more now than just learning something. I'm talking about how to communicate an idea, how you market a product. And so don't go and just listen to someone who says just do it one particular way, because you're going to find that different people make decisions about what they trust and who they want to partner with and what products they want to buy and what they actually want to do with their life based on the level to which they are really connecting with information based on the way that they naturally flow their genius. And that leads to this final one, introvert steal side, which is what I call analytic. If you've ever seen any of those handbooks or manuals that come with a microwave oven or come with a new TV, it's the steal geniuses that will read through all of that. They'll go through the small print because they need to understand all the information. This is about a question which is how. How does this all work? And if you leave that part out, you simply will not get so many of the people on the steal side come to you. And by the way, they're some of the most loyal customers you can have. They're the most loyal students you can have as well when they actually find something that they really, truly understand. So understanding that there are these 4 different ways to learn. What does that do and how does that help you? Well, first of all, you might find that there is only a small percentage of information that you're collecting in a way which is natural to you. So focus at the way that you go about learning best. Ask people around you to be able to teach you in that way as well, and you'll be amazed at the result. And secondly, you're going to find there's people around you. And again, like I said, this is people in your team that you want to be more effective. It's your children that you want to feel like geniuses, that when you allow them to be able to learn in their natural way, which means you're passing information to them differently, you'll be amazed at the difference it makes in the way that they also build their value and what they feel they can achieve in life as well. At the end of the day, this is more than simply about gathering information and learning information. It's about how do we build trust. And you're going to find that every one of these geniuses, they trust people around them so much more when they actually have information given to them in a way that makes them feel smart, good, and able to make a difference in the world. So use this information, go out there, learn like a genius, and ensure you're helping those around you to learn with their genius.